Hi, friends. I wanted to share with you a book that I just read and really love. It's called Tiny Experiments: How to Live Freely in a Goal-Obsessed World by Anne-Laure Le Cunff. Now, she's a neuroscientist, but this is not an academic book. It's eminently practical and useful. And I'm pretty sure you're going to find ideas in there that you can put into practice in your own life. Her central idea is that instead of chasing big long-term goals, we can instead try a series of tiny experiments to learn and adapt and approach life with a sense of curiosity. I love that feeling. The way she frames these experiments is as small pacts that you make with yourself. A pact is nothing more than the statement, I will do activity for time period. That's it. I will write 15 minutes a day for 15 days. Or I will get up at 7 and do yoga every day for 3 weeks. Something like that. Time bounded, and it's based on effort, not results. I'm just going to do the thing. I love this approach so much. I discovered that I've used it in my own life, but I will certainly use it with more intention now that I've read this book. Now, what this does for us is twofold, at least. First, it frees us from the tyranny of the big goal, the I'm going to do this every day for a year kind of goal that most of us trip and fail on after a little while and then feel disappointed in ourselves. Instead, it gives us smaller goals. And if we aren't able to achieve it, or if we find that it's really painful, those 2 weeks of getting up early just nearly killed me, okay, I've learned something. So she also gives us a tool to evaluate the exercise. What went well? What didn't go well? And what would we do next? So we may discover that in the course of our first experiment, it didn't work out, but we found that something really wonderful happened if we meditated for 15 minutes before we went to bed, or if we did something on the weekend. Perhaps we do the next experiment along those lines. Or perhaps life has just gotten crazy and we give ourselves permission to put something on pause because it's simply not feasible now. Tiny experiments reframe things that don't work from failures to lessons that we can put into play for the next phase. So the second thing that I love about this is that because you can set a pretty small time frame on these experiments, this is not a giant thing, you are more likely to get curious and try something new. For example, I'm a writer. I always write nonfiction, but perhaps it might be fun to do a 10-day poem a day experiment and see how I feel at the end of it. So you might try a new genre, or you might just decide, I want to learn juggling, but I'm going to spend the first 10 days just learning the toss. I don't know. Whatever it may be, you can take a bigger goal, snip off a small bit, and see what it feels like. And then you'll have a better idea going on if you want to pursue. But this might actually open new horizons for you rather than putting on the blinders that we often have to put on when we have big, aggressive goals that we're just running to meet all the time. Of course, there's much more in the book than this, but this is the foundational idea. So if you're interested in expanding your creative life or your career or trying new things as the world is changing around you, I highly recommend that you pick up the book, Tiny Experiments. Give it a try and let me know what you think.